Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And to the republic for which it
In a moment of silence. Thank you. In accordance with the governor's order, suspending certain provisions of this open meeting law, General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 20, relating to the coronavirus outbreak emergency, this meeting is physically closed to the public to avoid group congregation. However, this meeting is being streamed live on Comcast Local Channel 98 and will be replayed on both local cable channels 9 and 98. A recording of this meeting will also be posted on the WB Cam website at www.wb-cam.org. If any member of the public wishes to comment during tonight's meeting, they may do so during the public comment portion. Please note, we will only be able to hear the public during that time. The listing of matters are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at this meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law.
At this time, I'd like to make a motion to move into executive session to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining, memorandum of agreement, and to reconvene in open session after.
Moved.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Moved
Seconded.
and second. Any discussion?
So I would just like to comment that we're planning on being back in regular session at approximately 6:50 p.m.
Thank you, Molly. Is there any discussion? All in favor, and this is a roll call vote?
So I'll start. Molly Smith, aye.
Donna Hume, aye.
Susan Sullivan, aye.
David Yo, aye.
We will reconvene. Thank you. All right, good evening. I'd like to reconvene the West Bridgewater School Committee meeting. After our executive session, we are now back into the public meeting. And under business, the date and grade levels for returning to full in-person learning. Mr. Bodwell, would you like to speak on this?
I would. I'm actually very excited to speak on this. It's very exciting that we are talking about this. It's been a long time since August and September when we talked about all the return and hybrid and remote. So we are definitely talking about return to school dates. Just listed here are the DESE return to school dates of K to 5, April 5th, 6 to 8, the 28th, and 9 to 12 would be TB time in April with a 2-week notice. So that's the information that was put out there. But again, I'm excited that in collaboration with the WBEA, that we have the dates set of April 5th for K to 6 and grades 7 to 12 on April 12th, both being Mondays. Again, we've worked hard with the WBEA and we appreciate their assistance as we've come through and come to a mutual agreement. And again, I think it's just in the best interest of our kids and our families. So we're very glad to be talking about definite return to school dates. Just a few things on the calendar. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sending out a mass email tomorrow morning, hopefully in the morning, but some point tomorrow, providing all parents and families with this information. But we're going to continue to have district-wide half days, as we always have had, April 14th, May 12th, and June 2nd. And then at the middle senior high school on April 28th, May 5th, May 19th, May 26th, and June 9th. Just so people that don't know, the middle senior high school is teaching both the in-person and the fully remote, which is different than our elementary model, which has fully remote teachers. So there's a lot more responsibility on our middle senior high school teachers. So we feel this will provide them time to do that. And the afternoons as well, if they need to do any check-ins. And it also, it's good because if some districts are looking to do some kind of courses for these fully remote kids, and we have, I think it's 77 right now at the middle senior high school that are remaining fully remote. So any kind of additional classes would require money and so forth. So this is, I think, a cost-effective way for us to educate our kids fully, both in school and if they're remote and or if they're quarantining. So we're looking forward to the new schedule. Again, that will be sent out tomorrow. Again, just some reminders that will be included. We are still having the fully remote options for K to 12. So parents have signed up for that through our survey. The principals are aware of those numbers. We're passing them off to the teachers as of tomorrow. So they'll be aware of who will be fully remote. We are at a minimum of 3 feet, but a majority of our classrooms will be set up at 4 feet. But we can go down to the 3 feet. There will be some class changes in the elementary level. That'll be coming out, I believe, later this week, and that's going to be building based. They'll be sending out that. Just as a reminder, what happened is when we started the year, if we had 4 academic classes, say in grade 1, we condensed them to 3 because one of those academic teachers became the hybrid teacher. So our
audio put out? I did this last time I tried to do my.
Students were happy that they'll be having a full classroom again. So any changes will be sent out this week. I talked to Lucini. They know about our schedule. We're working through any details. The survey has come out. The principals know about the bus transportation numbers. They look to be very much in line with what we have currently in terms of we're not going to have overcrowded buses. We will be sending bus lists to Lucini so they can do the seating charts to properly track any close contacts. And again, it's important to know that the building principals will be sending out a lot of details and talking about procedures, arrival, dismissal. We're meeting tomorrow as an admin team to go over any questions or concerns. And I can't stress enough that how excited we are to all be coming back. Excited to be coming back before April vacation. Gives us an opportunity to look at how it's going, have that week off, and then finish the year strong, getting ready for next school year. So very excited here in West Bridgewater.
Thank you, Mr. Bodwell. And just to follow up, we did just execute in executive session the memorandum of agreement, and you'll be able to find this document. It will become it is now a public document, and it will be able to be on the website by tomorrow, sometime tomorrow morning. And it will be located on the coronavirus link. Correct. All right. Thank you so much. The next under business is the topic of changes to future school committee meetings. Donna Hume, would you like to be heard on that?
Sure. So just as we're all excited that we're getting the kids back to school, we're also very excited that starting next month, we're going to have our meetings be open again to the public. A couple of points to note. So we'll be back with having Ben Smith and his team set up the gear in the Learning Commons for us to also be streamed live on the wbcam.org website. So the meetings will be continued to be shown on the cable station as well as streamed live. So people at home could have the option to join or to watch on TV or online. And then will be open to the public. So if people wish to be heard during the public comment portion of the meetings, they're welcome to attend in person. But we still wanted to give people the option to speak during public comment, even if they're not comfortable coming to our meetings. So we are still going to have the option to have the call-in with a couple of changes. When the time for public comment is approaching, Ben Smith and his team is going to actually show the phone number to call in on the online streaming as well as on the cable stations. So we'll also publish it in advance as part of the agenda as we have been doing. So starting in April, the public is welcome to come join us in the Learning Commons here at the Middle Senior High School. But as I mentioned, the public will also have the option, while the pandemic is still a presence, to call in as well. Any questions? Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you so much. And I'd just like to comment and thank you, Donna, for all your work that you've done with respect to the technical strain that the pandemic has put on our conducting business. You've tried to make it as seamless as possible, and I appreciate, and I know the rest of the committee and the administration appreciates all of your time and efforts, as well as with Ben Smith and his team. So we're getting there. So thank you so much for helping us get there.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. And a shout out to Ben too. He's been great to work with and is very helpful, as is his whole team. So thank you.
Thank you. So next on the agenda under business is the some proposed revisions to policies with our Director of Student Services, Kathy Marble.
Thank you. All right, so as part of a program review that we're currently under, I'd like to propose some updates to our homeless and our foster care policy. I know that you all have them in your packets. This is based off of the Every Student Succeeds Act, the ESSA Act. For the homeless policy, I'm looking to add verbiage for summer and extracurricular activities in that first paragraph. I'm looking to add the school of origin, a sentence on keeping records private as far as where students live when they're homeless, and a sentence on transportation, that transportation will continue to be the responsibility of the school district the student is at. And for the homeless, I'm looking to omit the phrase awaiting foster care placement. And this is based again off of the ESSA Act. And the only thing I'd like to change in the foster care is add from preschool through high school. They want to make sure that preschool students are included. I think you were going to look at it, and then I think it's a voting issue next week, next school committee. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. So we'll have a chance to review your suggested edits. And again, these are in compliance with the ESSA regulations as well as through the Mass Association of School Committees. And if anyone has any other questions for you, we will definitely table this and we'll vote on this next month.
Great. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for Mrs. Marble?
I was just going to make a comment, since it's been so long since we've had to review a policy, because Mrs. Hulme and Mrs. Sullivan have reviewed every single one of our policies over the past 2 years. 3 years. No, right? Traditionally, we assign someone to the policies. Should we start doing that again, even though it seems like Mrs. Marble's already done a lot of the work, but so then that way we have one point person amongst the 5 of us to make sure it's reviewed in 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, we probably should.
I'd be willing to take this policy since it was my idea to assign someone to it.
Read my
For these
mind.
2 policies.
Thank you, Molly. And we are now entering our public comment section of our meeting. Members of the audience wishing to address the committee may do so at this time. Audience members are reminded that personnel issues or issues that would violate a student or employee's confidentiality cannot be addressed during this public comment.
While we wait for a public comment, Donna, do you want to tell what you learned about the delay and why we might wait an extra minute here?
Oh, yeah.
Is that now?
No, that's okay. I probably should have mentioned that when we talked about the changes going forward. When the meetings are live streamed and broadcasted on cable, there is a delay. So we want to make sure all the callers who wish to speak do have a chance. So we'll just pause at this moment for a couple of minutes and let people have a chance to speak if they wish to. And when you do, we just ask that you state your name before your comment. If anybody unmutes themselves to see, give them a minute.
Okay. Can you turn that on? Is that good? Excellent. All right, seeing no hands raised or anything in the chat section or having any call-ins during our public comment section is now closed. And prior to the adjournment, I would like to read a statement. It has been brought to my attention how some comments that were made at the Selectmen's meeting held on March 17th may have been personalized and taken out of context in a way that I never intended. Let me clarify my position. I am supporting a fiscally responsible FY22 proposed budget. The school committee has included in the budget the teachers' COLA, or cost of living, increase, although the Board of Selectmen provided written instructions that all town departments present a budget with a 0% cost of living increase for union and non-union personnel. Being a member of the negotiations committee with Bill Flynn, it was certainly not for a lack of trying and mutual creative bargaining approaches that the school committee included the teachers' cost of living increase raises in the proposed fiscal 22 budget. As previously stated, the teachers' union is by no means under any obligation to open up their contract at any time during its 3-year term. The teachers and staff hit the ground running back on March 14th, 2020. It was certainly a very difficult time for all. They collaborated and worked incredibly efficiently with each other, the administration, and parents to create a learning model for all students. Meeting, Mr. Bodwell presented several possibilities of what budget cuts could look like. I recognize the potential domino effect these cuts may have, as students will feel these effects immediately in their classrooms with increasing class size, programs such as the middle school athletic program and AP courses that may not be offered, the loss of fine arts and music instruction at the elementary level, or the loss of an academic specialist for the neediest student. I'm also concerned about the ripple effect these cuts may have on the relationship between the teachers and our administration to continue to redefine teaching now to a class that almost may double in its size. I have the utmost respect for our teachers, and we are all committed and have worked tirelessly to build and support relationships of mutual trust and respect. In addition, the support from parents and families has been incredible since the beginning of this pandemic. To all of these groups, on behalf of the school committee, we thank you. And again, I apologize if my previous comments were misunderstood. Thank you. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
Could I just comment on that?
Sure, thank you.
I'd like to echo Mrs. Sullivan's words here. This has been a long, tedious process on both sides, the teachers, the school committee, the school department, the principals, and everybody. It's been hard. There's no diagram of what's happening here or how to handle things. I would like to also thank Mr. Hyde for his diligence through this whole thing, representing the teachers with the utmost respect back towards the town. It's really been a two-way street. I do support the teachers not opening their contract. It is their right. But again, we'll work through it. We're going to get the kids back to school, and we're going to move forward.
Thank you. Could I have a motion to adjourn? Yes, next meeting is Monday, April 12th, 2021 at 6:30 PM here at the Middle Senior High School Learning Commons. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Moved, second, any discussion? And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, good night.